Okay, so they've all looked at the intro video and done your first in learning. So direct proportion, as I've described, is a relationship between two quantities whose ratio is constant. So like I explained in this video, 1 Kit Kat, half a pound, and so on. So £1 is 170 yen. So this is a conversion you'll traditionally see in exchange rates. So to get to £12, well, £1 to 12, we know we multiply it by 12. So same thing, 170 times 12, you're going to want a calculator, is 2,040 yen. £6, well, we can either go from £1 times 6 or 12 divided by 2. Same thing. So £1, like I said, is we times it by 170, gets me 1. So £6, we times by 170, or we can half this value here. We're going to get 1,020 yen. Okay. Same thing here, watermelons. Okay. So 2 watermelons. Sorry, I have to plug in my laptop. 2 watermelons is £7. So to get 1 watermelon, we just divide it by 2. So 7 divided by 2, and this gets us our constant ratio. 1 watermelon is £3.50. So to get 7, we times it by 7. And that means 7 watermelons, we're going to times it by 3.5, £24.50. Can you pause the video here and copy this down? And then, once you've done that, you've got some practice questions. This should take you no more than 5 minutes. There's an extension as well, and then we're going to move on. So, once you've done the practice question, I want you to copy down this key point. When two quantities are in direct proportion, we're going to plot a graph and we're going to plot them through the origin 0, 0. When one quantity is 0, so obviously 0 Kit Kats cost £0, 0 bananas cost £0, and so on. But if 1 banana costs £2 and 2 bananas, we double it, it's £4. So here's a model. I've already drawn the graph out. So this is showing Kit Kat prices in the shop. So what's the price of 5 Kit Kats? Let me just add in at the bottom quantity. The question here, what's the price of 5? So we want to find 5 here. We're going to go up along to 5, and we're going to go along the graph, and there we are. So 5 Kit Kats cost £7.50. So how many Kit Kats can you get for £12? Well, here's our £12 here. We're going to go along the graph to here, and I'm going to come down all the way to the x-axis, 8. So for £12 you can buy 8 Kit Kats. Well, what's the constant ratio here? Constant ratio. Well, what is 1? Well, we can see at the very bottom, for every 1 Kit Kat, it's 1.5 £. So the constant ratio here is times it by 1.5. Same thing, 10 Kit Kats times 1.5 equals £15. That is how it works. So pause the video here and copy this down. Next, got to practice questions. I want you just to copy this in your book and answer the questions. Pretty straightforward. One last model. You're going to watch this and copy it down. Here's a graph. So in degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit, use the graph 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So 30 degrees Fahrenheit is going to be roughly here, well, 30 degrees. I've read the question wrong, my mistake. What's 30 degrees in degrees Fahrenheit? So 30 degrees is going to be here. We're going to go up along, and then up along our graph. And I'm going to say roughly 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, what's 100 degrees in degrees Celsius? So 100 degrees Fahrenheit is here. We're going to go along our graph and down. I'm going to say roughly 38 degrees Celsius. Okay, I don't want you copying this in your book, I just want you watching this one. What's the freezing point of water? Well, water, we all know, freezes at 0 degrees. So here, in Fahrenheit, that's going to be at roughly 30 degrees Fahrenheit. What's the boiling water? Well, water boils at 100 degrees. Here, go along our graph, roughly 210 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, have a go at this question in your book. I just want you to answer this one. Do not draw the graph. And then you've got application here. You've got question 1 here, question 2, and then you've got question 3 here. Have a go at that in your book, and I'll see you all on next lesson.